1607, good luck. So we've not played before, no head-to-head score. 166 games in rapid for opponent. We're just slightly over 900 now. Okay, goes e4. Which one do I do for this one? Which one do I do? I've got a bit of time. Let's just stick to the normal carrow. We're just going to try and get castled and then worry about what to do as per usual. So we got the advanced carrow for this one. So you pretty much always play bishop f5. He knows the theory. So h4, h5. You're trying to stop white from playing e6 in pretty much all of these lines. So at some point you need to play e6 yourself. If you get your bishop deflected, e6 is very strong for white, which is why you sometimes see these moves trying to play g4. Yeah, you just gotta always watch out for this move. It's very, very easy to forget. Very easy. So he's just deciding which line he wants to play here. Okay, so he's played bishop to f4. So we've got queen up as a natural move, just attacking the pawn. And then we can maybe play e6. I think that makes a lot of sense, actually. Oops. Trying to pick up my king instead of the queen. That's not good. Then I'm just going to try and play e6 here. I expect b3 will be played. I mean, you could maybe play queen across, I guess, but I'll just look to play e6, get it done. He has played b3, so we'll go e6. If pawn forward, we could potentially trade, but it's probably not good. So there, I can pin, and he's probably going to have to break the pin this way. Queen up. If you played queen up, it would blunder. But, I mean, I guess you've still got the knight here, haven't you? But it's awkward. Yeah, let's just develop our bishop and then look to move the knight and prepare castling. We could go queenside potentially. Potential for the queenside castling in view of this pawn structure on the king's side. So I'd expect knight up or bishop back would be the two common moves here. You don't really want to block with the queen if you can help it. Queen up's annoying. There is still knight across, so it's not losing on the spot, but it's annoying. But I'm just really looking to get my knight developed just so I've got the option to castle if I need to. Or I guess the same this side. Yeah, he has gone with the knight. So queen up is a move and you've still got multiple ways to guard. So I don't want to burn all my time. I mean, I could do this knight first, preparing a push, but I quite like the idea actually. What's wrong with c5 now? No, I want to prepare castling first, just in case. As soon as I've done this, it opens up the scope for a check, and then I'm spending another move or a move here. Not in any rush, not in any rush. Knight across might be a move, as don't trap my bishop. Excuse me. The c5 is a very natural break move, but further down the line c4 could come, could be a bit awkward. But guarding with a knight, you've got to figure out how you're going to get your king castled, so you might need another 3 moves to do that. Here, you're probably going to have to drop back. So he's just forced the issue straight away, so I've got to trade now, don't I? We have to trade now. So queen up does nothing, there's no way to retreat, so we'll just take. Okay, so do I castle? Not right now, I don't. I lose my pawn. So I'm going to play c5, I think, now, before we get c4 coming. It could really explode this. It could really open. If check, I'll probably block with the bishop. If the knight comes in, that could be a bit awkward, actually. Might have missed that. Knight in, I might have to play knight back to guard the check. Knight in here, I might have to come back just to guard the check threat here. If I castle now, there's a queen coming along. Again, I might have to spend a move on g6, but I've lost my dark squared bishop, so... might have gone slightly wrong here. We might have gone slightly wrong. Yeah, so I probably need bishop g6 just to prepare castling. Knight g6, I just think you just shift your bishop and you're fine. Yeah, on reflection, I should have played a6, I think, instead of c5 there, just to cover that b5 square. Well, he has found knight to b5, so I'm going to have to drop back here. I'd already seen that. So I've got to try and cover this. If knight check, I'll just take. Pawn takes. Maybe I'll come back. Maybe I'll develop. Obviously, I was thinking on my opponent's time there. I'll probably play a6 if he just develops next, just to try and force the issue, and then he can jump in or go back. And it kicks the knight away. Dangerous position. Oh, he's played pawn forward, so that takes away his knight square to retreat now, so he might have to come in. So that could be alright for us. So here, if he takes, we're okay to take. We still cover these moves, don't we? So let's kick that knight to force the issue. I think he'll come in now, but he could maybe take here first. If he does come in, I'll play knight takes. We'll get pawn takes, and then can we get that pawn back? He has done it, so we'll take. So do we take in the center? That's a bit bold, isn't it? I think I need bishop back to try and guard here and then castle. But bishop back allows bishop up, doesn't it? Pawn up is just weakening my defense. I've definitely gone wrong here, haven't I? I've gone a bit wrong here, actually. I'm going to bring the knight up. Blockade the pawn, double guard this pawn, and I might even risk going queenside here. I think I've gone a bit wrong. Gone a bit wrong. I should have played a6 earlier. Oh, he has forced the issue a bit. Okay, I'm going to take the pawn. If the queens come off, that's much easier for us to play. To be fair, it's easy for our opponent as well. But does he go here? Can we get e5 at some point? I'd like bishop back to guard, but after bishop e2, what do I do? If I castle, he just takes anywhere. So I'm going to have to try and develop some pieces. He's playing this very, very well. Very well. So queen, we've got a dilemma. We probably have to trade, otherwise the pawn is loose. Then we've got a better pawn structure if we get the queen off, but it's easy for our opponent to then obviously play the position themselves as well. But queen takes, there's a hit there to the pawn. I mean, we could castle and allow our opponent to do the taking, but actually, yeah, it might allow e5 if he goes queen takes on reflection there. Queen takes e5, I guess just queen takes the pawn, take the bishop. Takes out, he has gone with a pawn. I want to castle now, but if it played g6, my bishop is stuck. Not promising, is it? Not promising. I'm going to play rook across just to create some sort of threats, even though it doesn't really do a lot right now. Oh, he's played rook over to trade. So again, if I castle... no, I'm going to take... If he goes with a queen, I'm okay to castle for a move, and then I can maybe throw a pawn up or bishop back. If I take the pawn, and he comes in for checkmate, so we don't take the pawn. So that's what he's gone for. So I'm going to gamble here, and I'm going to castle, but this pawn is really loose now. If I try and guard the pawn with a pawn, then my bishop could be trapped. The rook can't come across right now. This pawn is super dangerous. We've well and truly gone wrong here, haven't we? If we could take this d6 pawn off the board, it would be a far, far, far better position for us. I might need f6 and e5 and really crumple my position up. So bishop up, trade, trade, and he can just start marching a pawn, so that's no good. I might have to start marching every pawn I've got. Yeah, so there's going to be a bit to review in this one afterwards and see where we've gone wrong in the opening. It looks like we've gone wrong, doesn't it? But I think for white, bishop e2 and then g4 is what I'd be looking at. But you still got to think of your own king's safety as well. But I'm wondering if I can just actually play e5 pretty much straight away. If bishop takes, try and go after the pawn or get my queen active, because there is a hit to the pawn here now. If you guard it with the queen, then we might be able to get our rook active, but feels all right for white. It's just the clock really that's white's biggest problem here. So I'm looking at also f6 and e5, takes, and just try and do something about this pawn. He has guarded with the queen, so if I play a rook across now, say bishop up somewhere, there's no immediate attack on his king, so I think I need to go f6 with a view to playing e5. And if takes, lose a pawn, gain a bishop, lose a bishop, gain a pawn, lose a pawn. We've got rid of a lot of the danger. We might get our rook active. Yeah, I'm going to play f6. It's very risky, but I've got a rook that can come behind. The bishop naturally guards the pawn. But I'm trying to prepare e5 to deal with this. That's my biggest problem, the d6 pawn. It shows how easy it is to go wrong in openings, doesn't it? I've gone wrong somewhere. So he has played bishop up, ready to castle, but he's also threatening our pawn. So do I just let him take that and go forward now? So take. Oh, he takes with a check. I'd missed that. He actually takes with a check, doesn't he? So I might have to drop back then. But then he still plays g4 anyway. The same if I go forward. I missed the fact that that was going to be taken with a check. So queen up, maybe for queen down. I'm going to do that. I'm going to come across to guard, but I'm actually looking at getting forward to try and get the queen off the board. Because I'm more playing the clock than the position now. I think white, it feels much better for white. Just get yourself safe. Think about blasting down. And if I get the queens off, I can target the pawn easier, I think. But I've had to spend a move guarding this pawn in order to push here, so you can't just take back with a check. Obviously now that I've pushed the f-pawn. So he could spend a move grabbing a pawn. I'm just going to push in the middle if he does, and then try and go takes, and collect here. But he's down to his last minute now. Okay, so he has taken, but I think that gives me the initiative, the time I needed to push on. I hope it does so. I'm kind of committed to this, so I'm doing it. So he's gone back over, so I can collect now, right? And that's the biggest danger pawn gone. But he's got to figure this out in 45 seconds. I've got rook to the open file, so he's launched one, but now I can go forward and hit the rook. He doesn't have f3. I'll just take that. And now I can maybe plant my bishop there with e4. Maybe I can just play e4 and plant my bishop, and then if he pushes, counter push again. So if I take, you take, check. If you go here, there's rook check, so you'd have to go on the light square. So here you could go with a queen, I guess. Yeah, it's a bit messy now. Oh, I can't go here because of the bishop. So does rook across give me anything? f5. Again, if you take, I take here, but it's not without risk. I'm going to move the rook to the open file and try and give my king an emergency path if needed. But he's only got 30 seconds to figure it out. And if you take, I could even go with a queen now and pin the bishop. I've also got obviously e4, try and keep it relatively closed. So I've got knight back here to attack the bishop. That looks like a logical move. Where's he gonna go? They're just back. Then I've got knight redeployed. Yeah, I like that. Just attack the bishop. Forward, take, pawn takes. Again, it's dangerous. It's dangerous. So he's gone back one, so I could advance. I could just play knight up. He's attacking my rook. Knight up, though, I'm not threatening much, am I? So I'm going to come back now and threaten to take the pawn. So can I take now? Queen takes up. If he takes, I can't take back. But I can with the queen, actually, can't I? So take, queen up. Yeah, I'm going to take. So he's down to 7 seconds. Wait, so if I check, takes, rook takes. Yeah, there's no need to allow that, is there? He can't take here because I just take the queen because of the pin. He's just out of time. So he's played bishop over to hit the rook, so now I'm fine to take. Okay, well now I can obviously just do anything here, but he's unlucky there, but I've messed up somewhere there and he's just been too slow. Let's take a look and see what it actually was and where we've gone wrong. It felt like we'd gone wrong in the opening there. 32 moves. They're the move times for both players there. So it feels like I've just made some sort of fundamental mistake in the opening, mixed my moves up somewhere. But let's just see how we actually did it. So we've been better here and messed it up, but yeah, we've gone wrong out of the opening. Move 11. Move 11, we've gone wrong in the opening, but we're actually all right. Apart from that one move, we're actually basically all right. So move 11 to move 12, you can see we've gone slightly wrong for one move, but we're basically okay until move 22. We've gone a little bit wrong here. So we played 87% versus 77%. So it wasn't actually as bad as it felt like. But this is all standard theory, just h4 you play h5. But these moves are all good moves, nothing wrong here, it's all completely level. c5 was fine, and it was knight back that was a mistake. I should have just castled and hung the pawn. Okay, so we should just castle here. Knight back was maybe a bit too defensive, allowing this idea. So if I castle, it's not showing any further line there, but obviously the queen can come crashing in, but it was the best line, it's still level. I guess we're just going to take in the center. Okay, so that's why we've got a blunder there. c3 was an immediate blunder back, should have taken the pawn. And this is all okay, we're slightly better. That was a mistake though. So we should have taken the pawn again here as well. We should have taken the pawn instead of developing the knight, which we've done a little bit later on. So you can see we're just basically level here, a little bit more ups and downs. And then I should have played knight to f6 instead of f6. Knight to f6 was the right move, not worrying too much about the pawn right now. But we're still only level, we're not really worse here, and we're trying to come forward. So that was a blunder, but it's really the clock that was the biggest factor here. The opponent was getting very low on time, so I'm playing the clock as much as a position. And then in the end, obviously, the clock just made the decision. I'm not trying to find a checkmate here, I'm just trying to find the simplest way to win the game. So obviously you can give a discovered check, win the free bishop, but you can get the queen there. So it is what it is. There's always something to learn from a game there. Unlucky.